Okay, so a while ago I decided that torches, well, the ones I have at least, don't have enough burn your retina out of your head sort of power to them. And I also don't have the money to go buy a sort of torch that does have the power to burn your retinas out of your head. So I went on the old Googly and I found some stuff. Okay, the sort of stuff that I was talking about is one of these. It's not that big, it's only like, I don't know, 50 something or 25mm LED. The one's meant for lighting up the side of buildings. So, yeah, $5, not bad. I got 2 of them. The other one's a sparey. So, let's get building this thing up. Alright, so a while ago, just for the sake of it, because I could and I wanted to, I made this thinger. It's just a heatsink with a 3D printed fan and a motor and a motor mount. And yeah, so a while ago I made that. And then, once I got the LEDs, I got a driver of the screws and a screw of the drivers. And then I put that on. So I just got a screw there and a screw there, and I screwed the LED on. I just moved the fins apart and jammed the screws in there. Well, threaded the screws in there. And that's attached to there. I haven't got heatsink on it yet. I still got to order that because I've been procrastinating. Anyway, temporarily I'll use toothpaste because apparently that works. What I need to do is I need to solder some wires to the terminals of the LED, and then I need to do other stuff. I can't remember what I need to do. I'll have a look at that in a second. Let's get to that. Okay, well, for those of you who have seen my previous videos where I've done soldering, you'll know that the soldering iron I have is a piece of crap. So, as a gift, I got this. It's a gas soldering iron, and it works really well. Haven't used it to solder something, but I've used it to melt the solder, and it melts it almost instantly, and it stays hot. So I can actually solder stuff with it now. Yay! Let's solder the LED. Alright, to solder this thing, I first need to take the LED off and find what is what terminal, because I don't know which one's positive and which one's negative. So undo this. Alright, so I've undone that. There's no thermal paste on it yet, because as I said I still got to get that. Now I got to find out which one is which terminal's which. Nice and clean. Now I'll get my multimeter and turn it around to the beepy one, and on there and then on there. So, okay, around. Huh. Okay, well that's not going to work because it doesn't have enough power. I'm going to need the other one, the other method, which is getting the actual temporary power supply for it, to see which one is which. Okay, I have the power supply and the 2 leads. I haven't turned it on yet. What I'm going to do is I need to find out which one's which, because it's just one that I've, well, stripped or taken the connector off the end. I don't even know what it's for. I think it's for a printer. But put it on these wires and then find out which one's what. Turn it on. Yeah. Okay, it's on. Yep, it's on. Okay. Now, I think that's negative. Oh yeah, that's it. Okay, so whatever that one is, we measure it. I think that's negative, and I think that's positive. Correct. So I'm going to put a red thing on the positive one, which is not going to happen. You know what, I'm just going to do this. I think, from memory, this is negative. Yep, okay. So the one with the dashed line's negative, I know that now. And I think that is, yep, that's negative. So I'll write a little minus. Okay, so I know that's negative and that's positive. Now I need to find some wire to solder it on with, and I think this stuff here might work. It might be too thin, but we'll see. Okay, I've got this thing pretty much heat up. It literally took about, I don't know, a minute, not even that. And okay, well, it's not fully heated up, but it's close. Okay, got me some solder. What I need to do now is put some lead solder on both of the terminals. Okay, well, it's hot. Okay, well, this thing is awesome, and it works really well, and it gets hot really quick, and it stays really hot. Alright, that is now soldered on and not coming off. That's what I want to see. Okay, now, I'll strip the end of this and make sure it works as it's supposed to. Now that I know which polarity is which, it will make things a lot easier. Turn you back on. Okay then. That is negative. Oh, by the way, every time I turn this thing on, I do close my eyes because of that reason. Okay, well, the power supply cut out again because it draws more power than the power supply can supply. Alright, now I need to put this back on the heatsink and do the rest of the stuff. Okay, so I've soldered that. I got this here. I got a bit of toothpaste, which I'm just going to put on there before I screw it back on. I don't know how much I need, but I'll put a little bit on. That might probably too much. Minty. It'll probably burn up, but anyway, it'll do. And get rid of that. Alright, now I can screw this thing back into place. Doesn't really matter which way. Does it? No, it doesn't. Once I get some thermal paste, I'll replace the toothpaste with thermal paste. But for now, hopefully this will do. Okay, so I'll put that back on, and I will put on this reflector that I've also printed. I've got 2 screws here, I'll put that on. I also might need to put some little gaps in there for the wires to come through, but we'll see how we go. Okay, we should be good for not needing any holes. Alright, there we go. Now that, I've specially designed this reflector and the shape of it inside to work with different angles that the light shines out, and to make it more into a focused sort of beam, not so much a floodlight. It's still a little floodlight, a little bit of a floodlight, but it'll do for now. Well, it's been probably over 6 months since I last uploaded a video, and well, honestly, I'm annoyed at myself, but also annoyed at other things. So, what's sort of happened, what's been happening? Well, I lost a lot of footage with this video, or about this video. I lost my mojo, or my motivation, because of that, because I spent a lot of effort on this particular project, and then that, well, a lot of it went out the window. Since the last scene, well, I haven't filmed on this particular project for probably 6 months, and I had done up to putting the LED on the heatsink, and I lost all the footage up to the point of this. And, well, I finished this. This was finished. So there's the LED in there. This was finished, and I lost all that footage. But, well, after that, not long after that, I blew the LED, because cheap LEDs like these apparently really don't like being overvoltaged, if that's the correct word. Don't like having more voltage put in than they are rated for. So I blew that. And then I was annoyed at myself for doing that, because I should have known better. And then I went online a few months later, or a month or 2 later, ordered a resistor for the second LED, because I didn't want it to blow again. Well, that took 3 months to get here, or 2.5 months, something like that, to get here. And then I started working on other projects by that stage, and things just got out of hand. So, well, I'm back. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do things properly. I've ordered, well, I have now got a 100-watt resistor for this. The original mounts for the batteries, apparently, well, not apparently, hot glue is useless. So I got other glue that I had to get for this. And I'm going to print other mounts, like ones that properly go onto this threaded rod here. I'm not sure if you can see that. Yeah, you can. Threaded rod there. Get rid of this plastic thing here. Re-put all the little terminals in place for the batteries. And just, well, solder the resistor in place. I put this thing on, which is a voltage regulator for the fan in here. Actually, there's a video coming out on that, hopefully when I get a chance, which hopefully will be soon. Don't quote me on that, because that never ends up happening. But Put the voltage regulator on. I put all the switches on, the on and off switch. I printed the handle. I printed the reflector, put some reflective paper on the inside. Screwed it all down. I tested it probably twice and then it just died. So, well, I ordered another LED as another spare, so I'm going to have to use a spare that I have to replace with this one. Anyway, well, I better get onto it and stop rambling on. So, yeah, sorry about that one. Alright, so, what I'm going to do first, well, first of all, this is the resistor. It's huge. So this is a 100 watt resistor that works with the 100 watt LED that I'm using. I have the second LED in this bubble wrap. And so I got to take the LED out, desolder the wires, resolder this resistor in place, and then pretty much put it back together, print some new mounts, put the LED back on, fix up some other things like this wobbles around, and hopefully it should work this time since I've done it properly. Alright, first thing, take the reflector off. And I'm going to take the LED off. Hey look, all the toothpaste that I use as the heatsink is all dissolved. Oh, sorry, not dissolved. Turned into a powder. Which is to be expected, honestly. I really probably shouldn't be sanding this, but it's the only way to get all the rest of the stuff off so it can actually somewhat work. Alright. I also still don't have thermal paste, so I'm going to need to get some thermal paste, or temporarily again use toothpaste, which is probably what I'm going to do, because thermal paste is expensive and I don't really, well, I haven't been really bothered to order any. So, got that off, where's the resistor, there it is. Okay, so I need to desolder the LED, find the positive and negative terminal again on this thing. There we go. So find the positive and negative terminal again, and resolder everything back on. So, I've got the soldering iron cranking, and I'll put it back on. Alright, so I've got the soldering iron all warmed up, and now I'm just going to desolder these. Come on. Alright, there's the old LED, turn it down, the old LED there, and there's the back of it. Now it's out of focus, and now it's too bright. There, back of the LED. So now I'm going to put the new one back on. Hopefully I get this correct. So, by the looks of things, that is positive. Actually, I'm going to put some solder on it first. Alright. Now, I just got to get this correct. Plus, plus. Okay, that's positive. Sorry if my hands are in the way, it's kind of difficult this. Alright, so solder that back on, turn this all the way down. I now need to solder the resistor in place. I'm going to solder it on the... negative terminal. Okay, so what I have to do... I'm in the way. Just cut it. You know what, I can turn the soldering iron off for now. Right, okay. So I'll cut that in right about there. Okay. So power that. I need a bit more than that. About there and about there. Okay. I'll twist these up. I might give this... Oh, no, it should be right. Okay. Twist that. And you put solder on them both first. I've tested this resistor earlier to make sure it's the right one, and it is. So I can get straight on with soldering. I don't actually know where I'm going to mount this, but I will find somewhere. Okay. If I really have to, I can put another heatsink on this just to make it so this doesn't get too hot and overheat, but I shouldn't need to. Alright. There we go. Okay, so I have that. Sorry you couldn't see that particularly well, but it's a little difficult. So, soldered the resistor in place. I'm planning on having it mounted maybe here somewhere. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I will. Actually, what I'm going to do is cut off that. Okay, so I cut off the sharp bits and got rid of them. I actually probably should have put some heat shrink on that. Anyway, it'll be fine. So that'll mount on somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where, but it will. Put this back on. Alright, so reflectors back on, LEDs in, resistors on. I'll mount that something on something somewhere, doing what, who, and anyway. I'll mount that on. I have to go print some more of these plastic battery covers. Go over. Yep. No, that's not going to go over there. That's going to go up here because I don't want to burn myself accidentally. Anyway, resistor. Print some more of these. Do them properly this time, so I'm not going to it's not going to be glued on. They're going to attach to these threaded rods. And after that, I should actually be able to. Oh, actually, I need to put these in, and then I should be able to print it. Test it. Well, it's the next day, and well, I didn't expect those to take as long to print as they did. Nevertheless, here they are. So, I've got the two of these, and what I've done differently the last time is these little things on the back. So one here and one up here, and both of these are identical. So all that I do is two slots that go in there. They slot together like so. and then those holes go on the threaded rod. So all I really have to do now is just swap them over and then re-glue the little terminals back into place. So I'm gonna get doing that. Righty-ho, so I've marked the negative there. It's a bit iffy, but it works. And the positive there. The negative on this little thing here. Is that focused? There. Okay. And the positive on this terminal here. I'm not sure if you can see that. Okay, so what I need to do is... Okay. I simply need to take off this and... well, this whole black thing under this screw, and pretty much just slide these straight on, put the terminals in. So it's pretty straightforward. Actually, I lie. This piece here, I have to cut through it and take out the wires because I can't actually fit them back through the original hole. Don't use more force, just use a bigger hammer. Oh yay, it's all falling apart, I need to glue some more. I just have to make sure all the terminals are separated, because if they're not, we could be in a whole world of trouble. Alright, put you back on. Alright, that's not too bad. I mean, the colour doesn't match the rest of it, but I actually don't mind the colour. And really, colour I don't particularly care about in this project. So, put the screw back on wherever the hell I put that. There I did. There I did that. That's not English. That's in there, that's in there. You know what? Once I glue these down, I don't think there's anything else to do. No, I don't think so. So, actually I probably should find a place to put this, the resistor, because it's just flopping around. I will do that in time. Oh, this plate of stainless steel looks quite useful. Anyway, I'll figure that out in a second. For now, I'm going to glue the terminals in place with some super glue. And I think I might fix up this little bit because it sort of wobbles and it's not supposed to. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, there you can, better. But it wobbles and it's not supposed to, so I might just put some more glue and stuff on that. But other than that, I don't think there's anything left to do. Well, I'll go do that. And I'll be back. Alright, last thing I have to do is attach this somehow. The way I've come up with doing it is not the best of ways, but it works, maybe. Okay, so what I'm thinking, I have a piece of stainless steel here. I'll put that on there, screw it down, fold it, and just shove it into the original heatsink. So, I need to mark it out first, and then I need to bend it and cut it. And I really probably should get stuff organised and get it out before I start filming, so I don't have to keep laying across the camera. That'll do. Alright. So, I've made that. I just need to put the screws through, and then it pretty much just sits in there. So, that is what I will do. That is sitting in there like that. It's kind of just held in there by friction, but it does the job. So now I have to wait till night and test it. So wait. I thought I was done. Apparently I'm not done, because the this circuit that controls the fan speed died. Well, actually I think it's just the potentiometer that died, so I need to replace that. Well, for now, what I'm going to do is I have here a 20 watt resistor out of a microwave. So this is a 20 watt at 0.7 ohms, which should theoretically slow it, well, it will slow it down, but it should be enough wattage. So basically, if you don't know what wattage is how much power it's using. So hopefully the fan's not using 20 watt. I don't think it should be, but this should drop the voltage down a little bit so it doesn't go at full noise the whole time. There is whacking. Okay, so for now, as I said, I'm going to put this in place of it, and in time I will swap it back to the original circuit once I get the potentiometer. So, I am going to do that now. That's not gonna work. I'll be back. Rightio. That's dark. Anyway, so I'll try and fix that up in editing. Here I've put the resistor. It works, not perfectly, but it still drops the voltage down a little bit, so the motor's not going full noise the whole time. Well, not going full noise at all. I've swapped it out with the variable resistor. Shush cars. In time, I will put this back on once I get the potentiometer replaced, and I'll put it back where it went in the first place. So, I've still got a few hours until night, but thanks to the magic of editing, it's night time. So, now that it is night, what I'm going to do is test it for the first time. I actually have never tested this thing at night. I've tested it during the day and in some dark sort of places to see if it works, and it does. So, I'm going to put the batteries in and I'm going to test it. I'm actually quite excited for this because I've been waiting, well, months to do it. So, let's do this. I have two 18 volt Makita batteries here, 3 amp each. They're not the newest of batteries, they're 8 years old, something like that, but they still work fine. So, I can't get them in properly. The mounts for the actual batteries are still fairly tight because they're not, well, they're only new. And they haven't worn into shape yet, but they still do the job. That one, and that's the fan. The variable resistor actually stopped that, so I could actually turn the sound down. But anyway, so here's the torch, battery's in. I'll go turn the light off. You cannot see a thing. Okay, lights off. Fans on. That's bright. Oh yeah, that's whew. Alright. So, that's 11,000 lumens. This is 1,000 lumens in comparison. That's 1,000 lumens. While yeah, that's still pretty bright, I think 11,000 lumens takes the cake. Look at that. I'm gonna go turn the light back on. Well, this thing is awesome. It's, well, the heatsink isn't the best, it's not the most efficient taking away heat, but I'll tell you now, it still does its job, and oh, this thing is awesome. Well, basically I wanted to build this because, well, first of all, I didn't have a torch that was particularly the best, so I wanted to build one, and I wanted to keep it as cheap as I possibly can. In total, not including the batteries, this cost me probably, in materials and everything, maybe 20 bucks. $4 for the LED, $5 for the resistor, a bunch of 3D printed parts which probably cost, I don't know, $1 overall. Some parts that I stripped out of a microwave and a fan, like a ceiling fan. A motor that was out of an old printer or something. And, I mean, the batteries are like 40 bucks each, or, no, sorry, hey, whoa, hang on. Yeah, something like that, anyway, 40 bucks each. But other than that, everything, this thing's awesome. So, well, this is the end of the video. Thanks for watching. I'm the Exo-Engineer. See ya.